the days of the Great War have these two nations so bitterly come up against each other. And now they are pitted against each other again in search of European glory, this time in football. Italy on one side, England on the other. Hello and welcome to Studio1X2, football's home away from home. This is where we draw the game's beautiful picture for you. Today is the D-Day and we had to mark such an important date in football with two of the best. The dawn of total football and a man who knows almost every capital city in the world. Former Kenya international Innocent Mutiso, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, but why will you mention only a third of my titles while my wife, kids and the fans are watching?
A man who has 3 league titles, I have to add that.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. And now, talking of titles, a man whose only title that is known in football is about carrying coffins, a guy who sparks engagement everywhere. Mr. Coffin Man himself, Njiiru, karibu to the show.
I told you I'm also an ex-footballer. I played football in high school and I won 3 interclasses titles.
3 interclasses titles don't count here because we are having guys who have proper titles. And talking of titles, this is Boniface Ambani, ex-Kenya international with so many league titles to his name. Karibu.
Asante sana, so many league titles. But it's interesting how Mutiso is putting it. I think there are so many other titles that he has not put.
He'll finally tell us all those titles. Gentlemen, welcome to the final show. That's why in Swahili it's called finale. We have England coming up against Italy. But before that, let's look at the semi-final. What did you guys make of the semi-finals? Italy versus Spain, England versus Denmark. Let's start with England-Denmark, Mutiso.
Well, it was a clash worthy of a semi-final until the referee came about.
It was spoiled by the referee.
It was spoiled by the referee.
We can already tell you where your allegiances were.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Eriko, England versus Denmark. Is it the result we all expected?
Well, I do think it was surprising to see Denmark going all the way there, and obviously everyone was excited to see how good they can come and what they can do in the tournament. But I do think the quality that England do have, and obviously the ability to call from the bench obviously came to the play, and that's why they won the game for me.
Talking about winning games, a man who's won many games is here, Boni Ambani. Boni, England versus Denmark. What did you make of that game?
Yeah, it was a clash to watch. It was a very interesting match from the word go. Dance, they really took the match to England. Yeah? People thought maybe they are going to sit back and wait for England to come, but the first 10 minutes, they're all over England.
Italy versus Spain, Eric. What did you make of that game?
Well, first of all, I want to say, when Spain came to the tournament, we never thought that they would make this far.
Oh, really?
Obviously, with the teams like France, teams like Holland, obviously teams like Germany, Spain was still trying to make a team. But one thing for me, and one thing that England can learn from that game, the semi-final, is that you can tactically outsmart Mancini, and now Spain did it in the first half.
Boni, Spain at the round of 16 went to the to extra time. In the quarterfinals, extra time. Semi-finals, extra time. Were they going to be lucky a third time?
I'm trying to imagine if a strike of Diego Costa caliber could have been that much. Then definitely, I think we could not even be talking about Italy in the finals.
So Spain lacked quality. That's what
they just lacked a finisher. Because Spain actually created so many chances. They had so many scoring opportunities. But at the end of the day, they were just fluffing them.
Italy also won the mental battle. Remember before the sports kicks, what Chiellini was doing to Alba. What is that? You're bullying that man.
So the game, Italy won the game before the penalties.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
According to me, should have been given a red card and a yellow card.
With the tournament curtains being drawn today, who has been your best player and which game gave the fans what they deserved? Who has been your best player so far, Eric?
I do think for me, for Italy, we've seen a couple of names like their midfielders really worked out well. We've had Jorginho, we've had Barella, Verratti. On the other side for England, I do think Sterling has stand up for England.
Mutiso, who's been your best player so far in the tournament?
For me, it will be a battle against 2 people. That's Raheem Sterling and Jorginho.
Boni, I'll give you 2 choices from players who've not reached the finals. Granit Xhaka and Paul Pogba. Who would you pick?
Wow, Pogba, of course, definitely.
He's had a tournament of his life.
Saka did well also, but definitely Pogba was one of the best.
What was Pogba trying to tell Manchester United with his show in the Euro 2020?
I'm here to stay or I go.
It's now time for the game analysis, and this is the one time we need you guys to come through on Bonnie's best bet. I just wanna be free. Gentlemen, even before we look at who is going to win this edition, we have two teams that nobody gave a chance going into this tournament. What has been your highlight of England and Italy from the onset of the tournament? Let's start with you, Mutiso.
I think the highlight for me was Italy versus Belgium. Everyone knew that right now Italy have got a worthy opponent in Belgium, but the Belgians was just a bunch of individual superstars.
Erico, what has been your highlight of these two teams?
Well, I do think, to talk on England, I do think the fact that they beat Germany, who are like one of the big teams coming to the tournament, said a lot about their obviously hopes of winning the Euro 2020. And the fact that Harry Maguire and Harry Kane have really stepped up going to the quarters, semis, and now the final, I do think that has worked out well for them. And I do think if they can maintain that, they can get something on Sunday evening.
Bonnie, what has been your highlight of these two teams?
Wow, on my side, actually, technically, let's come on the technical part of it, especially when it comes to defense. The two teams have had great defense lines, especially, let's talk about England. Nobody, they only conceded a goal
against Denmark.
Yeah, against Denmark, on a set play. When it comes to Italy, great side, Shelley doing great work in the defense, quite well. But I think they were quite pushed to the limit, the match against Spain.
Let's see who you think will be smiling at the end of the match and add a title to their name. It's the moment of the truth. These were your predictions for the final game, England versus Italy. We look at your predictions. Bonnie, we know what you all went for. You went for England winning 1-0 against the Italians. Eric, you predicted a 1-0 win for Italy against England. And Mutiso, for the finals, you're predicting a 2-1 win for Italy.
Let me tell you, this English team, I do think Mutiso will agree with me, is that it will be so hard for them to beat Italy because this is the biggest game they'll be playing at the Euros. This is the biggest team they're going to face. The biggest team they've faced so far is Germany, which Mutiso said were not even favourites. They're not even close to that. And I do think one thing that Southgate should do, according to me, is he has to change some players. You need to take out Italian midfield. That is what Spain did in the semi-final in the first half. You need to bring on Mason Mount to deal with Jorginho. And that means now Calvin Phillips has to play like a deep line midfielder. And that means now you need Italian midfield football.
I actually agree with him because I can echo the sentiments of Coach Roberto Mancini. He said this was against Spain. It was one of the most difficult games because of the tactical changes and playing with Spain playing with the false nine. I think dancing up the midfield. It really brought a lot of difficulties for Italy. But then again, with England, I'm sure Gareth Southgate will be has analyzed that match versus Spain.
Bonnie, you are the only man here, this gentleman, that think that England are going to win against the Italians. Why do you predict a 1-0 win for England?
When I look, first of all, I usually look at the defense lines. And then I look the opposition. I'm looking at the defense line of Italy, and then I'm looking at the opposition. I think you'll agree with me. He's one of the guys who's going to be a contender of player of the tournament. The best thing with him, anytime he gets a ball, what does he do? He's facing those defenders. He's taking them on. Now, there's Harry Kane, who has been scoring. Again, another talisman. He has come up so well. You look at that penalty, under normal circumstances, my friend, most players, what do? They shoot, and they're all already going to celebrate. But this guy, he took the shot before he went to celebrate.
Waited for the rebound.
He waited for the rebounds. And then, where did he tucked it home?
I have to remain objective, but it's the final. Nothing is the same. I'm backing Italia to lift the trophy. Forza Italia. And to warm up for the big game, we prepared a simple Euro quiz for you. I just wanna be free. You already know what's happening on the page. But we want to see if you've been revising the past Euro tournaments. Let's see if you know something about the Euros. Are you ready for the Euro Facts Quiz?
Yes.
Mutiso, are you ready?
I won the first quiz show.
Ever ready. So for the first one, we'll start with the easy one. I'm going to name the nicknames of some teams that are participating, especially in these Euros, and you tell me which nation we are referring to. Ready for that?
Yes.
Let's go. The Dragons.
Wales.
Ha, you got it. La Roja.
Spain.
Got it. Azzurri.
Italy.
That's easy for you.
Repre. Repre.
That's for you.
Oh,
Spanish.
no?
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 There's a team in the Baltics.
Denmark.
Nope.
The Baltics.
Starts with an S.
Oh,
Portugal.
pass.
No, sub.
Pass. 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 Slovakia. The Tartan Army. The Tartan Army. Oh, God. It has to be an English-speaking country. The Tartan Army.
Scotland.
Scotland. You got it. And that's the first one. Now we go for the quick fire questions. Name the captains of these nations at the Euro 2020. Oh. Are you ready for that?
But you said 5 seconds. You're not giving us 5 seconds.
You've got even more than 5 seconds.
Are you counting?
Let's do the captains of these nations. Spain.
Sergio Busquets.
Sergio Busquets. Ukraine.
Zinchenko.
You got it, Eric. Slovakia.
Oh, pass.
Slovakia.
Goalkeeper anaitwaje?
Amsic.
You got it.
Marek Hamsik.
Marek Hamsik. Yes.
Oh.
Scotland.
Robertson.
You should get it. Thank you, Andy Robertson. And lastly, Denmark.
Simon Kjær.
Simon Kjær. That's the thing. Lastly, England lost only one game during their road to qualifying for Euro 2020. Which team handed England their only defeat?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic, you got it. That's it for the Euro Quiz Challenge. Now, onto something that Mutiso does in his sleep. And our box-to-box defensive presenter here has aced it before. The Skills Challenge. Welcome to the Skills Challenge. Today we are here with Mutiso to challenge him to some skills. Are you ready for this?
Let's do this.
And to challenge you, we have our reigning champion here, the box-to-box presenter, Njiiru, who is going to give you a challenge that will just ensure that you have your statue put outside our studios.
Mutiso.
Yes, President.
Mutiso.
Yes, President.
How many times did I call you?
2.
Now, you have 2 chances to hit the crossbar and you can get a statue. Go for it.
Yay! He got it! He got it! Someone just getting dethroned here.
We need VAR review.
No, he got it. Innocent may have hung his boots, but his skills are still well and truly active. He now joins Eric on the Studio1X2 Wall of Fame. The tournament ends today, and we thank you for making Studio1X2 your choice for Euro 2020 analysis. Tonight, we get to know whether England will bring it home for the first time or Italy will complete the job in London. It's been a pleasure having you guys in studio. Thank you for making time for Studio1X2.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Three Kittens tonight.
What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing the Italian job being done.
And Bonnie?
I don't know who actually made the setup here. England already are number 1. If you look at there, the teacher there. England number 1, Italy number 2.
European club football is just around the corner, and so are we. Till the start of the seasons, Ekelea 1x2.